Hello, everyone. In this episode, we will talk about the hiring process within medical affairs, with a particular focus on field medical roles and medical science liaisons. So, while we will concentrate on these specific positions, the insights and recommendations that we share are broadly applicable across various roles within medical affairs. And this journey will encompass everything from initial strategies to the final stages of the interview, providing a comprehensive guide for those hiring managers who are looking to refine their hiring practices in this dynamic and crucial sector of the pharmaceutical industry. The field of medical affairs is unique, requiring a blend of scientific expertise, communication skills, and a deep understanding of both clinical and regulatory landscapes. Hiring for positions in medical affairs demands a different approach because of this unique blend of skills and expertise. These positions are pivotal in bridging the gap between science and business, requiring individuals who are scientifically strong and capable also of conveying complex information in an easy, accessible manner. So, if we realize that the hiring process in medical affairs is different than any hiring process because of this unique blend of skills and knowledge and responsibilities, we need to understand that this unique positioning brings with it a set of specialized requirements that shape the hiring process in medical affairs in several ways. To start with, let's talk about the scientific and clinical expertise required for the medical affairs roles. Yes, roles in medical affairs require a deep understanding of scientific and clinical knowledge. Candidates often need to have a background in life sciences, medicine, or pharmacy, and in many cases, advanced degrees such as MDs, PhDs, or PharmDs are preferred and required for these roles. This level of expertise is crucial for understanding complex medical data, engaging in scientific dialogue with healthcare professionals, and ensuring that the information about the pharmaceutical products shared is accurate and compliant with regulatory standards. The hiring process, therefore, places significant emphasis on assessing scientific acumen, as an example, which is not typically as pronounced in other industries. The second important factor to consider when we talk about the distinctive characteristics of hiring in medical affairs is the regulatory knowledge, compliance, and ethical standards. This is another aspect that sets the medical affairs hiring apart from any other hiring process. The understanding of regulatory and compliance and ethical standards is a mandatory requirement in medical affairs colleagues. Because the pharmaceutical industry is a highly regulated industry, and so the expectations from professionals in medical affairs that they navigate these regulations standards effectively. This includes ensuring that all the communication and interactions with healthcare professionals and other stakeholders are aligned with legal and ethical guidelines. So, when we take this and go to the hiring process, this hiring process must therefore evaluate not only the candidate's knowledge of these regulations, but also the ability to apply ethical judgment in complex situations. The third reason why medical affairs hiring process is unique is the communication and interpersonal skills needed in the medical affairs roles. Because while technical expertise is paramount, the roles in medical affairs also require exceptional communication and interpersonal skills. Exceptional communication and interpersonal skills. Because professionals who are working in medical affairs often serve as the primary scientific contact between the pharmaceutical company and the medical community. They need to be able to communicate complex scientific information in a clear and accessible manner. They need to be able to build and maintain relationships with key opinion leaders and cross functional teams within the same organization. And they need to work collaboratively with various departments within their scope, like legal, compliance, regulatory, and others. So the hiring process must assess these soft skills, which are critical as technical knowledge for success in these positions. Another important requirement needed in medical affairs is the strategic thinking and business acumen. Medical affairs professionals are increasingly involved in the strategic decision making process within the pharmaceutical companies, and they play a pivotal role in shaping the clinical development strategies, market access plans, patient advocacy initiatives. And this requires scientific and regulatory knowledge, yes, but also it requires business acumen and strategic thinking. So, the hiring process in medical affairs, therefore, often involves evaluating the candidate's ability to contribute to strategic discussions and their understanding of the broader healthcare landscape. The fifth reason why the hiring in in medical affairs process is different, we can say adaptability and continuous learning. And this is in the genes of medical affairs colleagues. The pharmaceutical industry is characterized by rapid innovation and change, and all know this, particularly in the fields of medical affairs, research, and product development. So, those who are working in medical affairs must be adaptable and committed to continuous learning to keep pace with the latest scientific advancements and the changes in the healthcare environment. So, the hiring process in turn must identify candidates who are not only knowledgeable but also able to demonstrate a passion for learning and adaptability. And as I mentioned in certain lectures, when we lose the science and the learning agility in medical affairs, our value will be questioned. So, to conclude, the hiring process in medical affairs is different. This is due to the combination of skills and attributes required in this field. And this goes beyond assessing technical expertise to include an evaluation of regulatory knowledge, communication skills, strategic thinking, adaptability, and flexibility. All these factors make the hiring process in medical affairs a complex and multi-dimensional process. It should be tailored to meet the specific needs of this critical and dynamic field within the healthcare industry, and following the strategy of the medical department to obtain the right candidates to execute these strategies. In the medical affairs landscape, field medical professionals like MSLs play a crucial role, and probably it is the most important role in medical affairs. They act as a vital connectors between the pharmaceutical companies and healthcare providers, researchers, patient advocacy groups, and key stakeholders. Their responsibilities significantly impact the scientific knowledge, product adoption, and ultimately patient outcomes. Due to the importance of this role and also the complexity of this job, hiring MSL positions requires a team leader with a unique combination of scientific knowledge, industry expertise, and managerial skills. A qualified team leader ensures the recruitment of the right talent, setting the stage for success within the MSL team and the broader medical affairs department. This is a four-step guide that serves as a robust framework for team leaders in medical affairs. And it ensures that You as a leader will bring on board individuals who are not only qualified but also aligned with the organization's broader goals, strategies, and most importantly, culture. So I strongly recommend that you follow these 4 steps, whenever you have an open role and you are recruiting a new colleague into your team. The first step is to understand the strategies. So before diving into the hiring process, it's essential for you as a team leader to have a comprehensive understanding of the organization's broader strategies and the medical strategies in your team. This includes, for example, knowledge of upcoming launches, focus areas in research, and overall business objectives. Understanding these strategies will help in aligning the roles and responsibilities of the new hires, ensuring that they can contribute effectively to the organization goal. The second step is to identify the skill set needed for these strategies. Once the strategies are clear, this is the next step, to identify the specific skill set. This goes beyond just the academic qualifications to include soft skills like communication, adaptability, emotional intelligence, and we will see some examples of strategies and the matching skill set in the next slide. Given that the MSL will interact with a diverse set of stakeholders, including healthcare professionals, internal stakeholders, and marketing, commercial colleagues, for example, it's a multifaceted skill set that you are searching for. Team leaders like you should create a detailed job description that outlines these skills, serving as a guide during the hiring process. And the importance of a clear thought of job description is more than this. You need to have a clear job description in order to manage the expectation of a newly hired MSL about the role, and also to help the panel understand which skills you are searching for when you do a panel interview. The third step in this framework is the preparation for the assessment. This could involve creating a set of situational questions, role plays, or even certain assignments or specialized tests that evaluate not only the scientific knowledge but also the interpersonal skills and decision making process. The assessment should be designed to involve not just the candidates, what the candidates know, but also what they are ready to do, what they would apply this knowledge in, or how they would apply their knowledge in the real world scenarios and in the business environment. And finally, the interview process, which is the crucial step. Unfortunately, many people, once they have a vacancy, they will start thinking of the interview. This is a very common mistake. No, you need first to think of the strategies, and then according to the strategies, you need to define the skill sets needed for executing these strategies. Finally, prepare for the assessment and the interview. The interview is the final but the most important step. It serves as an opportunity for team leaders to assess the cultural fit of the candidate, their motivation level, and the alignment with the organization values and culture and objectives. The interview should be a structured one, and we will clarify what is the meaning of a structured interview later on. And this should include questions or exercises to evaluate the technical aspect as well as the scientific knowledge, and behavioral questions as well. Also, it should test for soft skills and cultural fit, as we mentioned before. So, we discussed the importance of first pinpointing your strategy and then using that strategy to identify the necessary skill sets for the role you are hiring for. Let's see some examples to clarify this approach. For instance, if your strategy is centered or focused on patient centricity, the skill set you should look for in a candidate includes a strong understanding of both scientific and business objectives. This ensures that the candidate can strike the right balance between the two. Similarly, if your strategy aims to strengthen organizational culture and values, you will want to focus on skill sets that include adaptability, flexibility, and cultural fit that aligns with your organizational culture. And in cases where your strategy involves collaborative partnerships with different stakeholders, the required skill set should encompass effective communication, a sense of partnership, and business acumen. Another example, if your approach is geared towards data driven decision making, then analytical skills are a must have in the skill set for that role. To summarize, the key is to clearly define your strategies and then tailor the skill sets you are looking for accordingly. The following steps involve preparing for the assessment and conducting structured interviews to ensure successful hiring process. We have emphasized the significance of crafting a precise and well-articulated job description for the role, which is initially used for the job posting to attract top candidates. However, the utility of a well structured job description goes beyond just recruitment. It plays a crucial role in managing candidates' expectations and ensuring a mutual understanding of the role's responsibilities. This is particularly important for newcomers to the field, such as recent graduates. Some may apply for an MSL role thinking they will serve as the organization's physicians, while others might assume they are being hired to manage the medical department within the pharmaceutical organization. Of course, this should be sorted out during the screening of the CVs and the resumes. However, they are used here as just examples to manage the expectations of the right candidate during the interview and to reflect transparency. To avoid such misunderstanding, it's vital to be explicit during the assessment and the interview process. Candidates should fully understand the job requirements and accountabilities, including any travel obligations, customer engagement expectations, and like the percentage of time they will spend in the field. In summary, a well crafted job description is instrumental not only to attract the best talent, but also in maintaining transparency throughout the hiring process and to ensure smooth performance management later on. Another important subject that I want to bring to the discussion is the importance of eliminating unconscious bias in the hiring process. This is crucial to ensure ethical and professional selection process in the medical affairs. Unconscious biases can be disastrous to the hiring process, affecting not just the fairness, but also the quality of the team you build and the entire reputation of the organization. These biases can manifest based on gender, age, ethnicity, and even educational background. The ripple effect is significant. It compromises diversity and could lead to overlooking highly qualified candidates. So we need to train ourselves to eliminate any unconscious bias, and there are techniques, and you will find in your module to ensure that your decision is not directly or indirectly influenced by any unconscious bias. Here, I have some recommendations for team leaders whenever they are hiring for MSL roles. First, follow the four-step approach when hiring a new MSL. Start by identifying the strategies and then tailoring the skill sets according to these strategies, and then start with the assessment preparation and the interview. Never ever start thinking of the interview when you approach the hiring process. Start from the strategies. Two, conduct structured interviews. By asking each candidate the same questions, we level the playing field and minimum room for bias. Diverse interview panel. is always preferred compared to a one-to-one interview. A mix of perspectives on the panel can counterbalance individual biases, offering a more holistic view of the candidate's fits for the role. Remember, consistency is the key. So conduct structured interviews and always invite a diverse panel to conduct the interviews. Another important strategy that you can follow in order to ensure eliminating bias and selecting candidates based on their qualities is to do a blind resume screening. This technique allows the focus to be on the qualifications and experience rather than the names or background or other identifiers that may unconsciously influence the decision. Another important recommendation is the training. It's very important that all colleagues or team members who will conduct the interviews to get the needed training. Awareness is the first step. Consider implementing unconscious bias training for everyone involved in the hiring process and other types of training to ensure that you are conducting a professional and ethical interview. Use a unified objective scoring system. A standardized scoring system adds an extra layer of objectivity, making it easier to compare candidates on a like-for-like basis. Avoid assumptions. Stereotypes can be misleading. For example, never assume a candidate's dedication or the candidate's dedication based on their family status. This has also a lot of ethical considerations, so be careful what type of questions you ask during the interview. Post-interview analysis reflect on the hiring process to identify any patterns that may indicate bias and be prepared to take corrective actions. Thank you for joining this discussion on the hiring process in medical affairs. This area, as you have seen, is more than just filling a vacancy. It's a strategic process that plays a crucial role in forming a cohesive team that fits well in your organization's goals, culture, and values. As we started by looking at the importance of crafting detailed and clear job descriptions, we mentioned that these descriptions are essential. They help attract the right people by setting clear expectations and outlining the skills and abilities needed for the job. This clarity is key in making sure that from the very beginning candidates know what the role involves and what is expected from them. Then we shifted gears and we talked about how important it is to match your hiring strategies with the skills you are looking for. This means not just finding people who have the right qualifications, but also those who will really excel in their roles. Focusing on specific skills needed for success in medical affairs, like understanding complex medical information, being able to communicate well, and also thinking strategically. All this preset skill set helps more to bring and build a strong, capable team. A big part of our discussion was about the importance of being clear and honest with the candidates about the job, what the job involves, and this included things like how much travel is expected, for example, how much work will be in the field, and what kind of interactions they will have with the healthcare professionals, and so on. Being upfront about these things helps to make sure that the people you are hiring will be happy and stay in the roles for longer durations. Also, we covered the importance of using structured interviews and objective assessments in the hiring process. These methods are really helpful in making sure that the decisions you make are fair and based on what the candidates can really do. They help to avoid biases and make sure that you are choosing the best person for this role. We will discuss the interview process in details in the next episode. In closing, hiring in medical affairs is an ongoing process that needs to keep evolving. As the field changes, so should the way we hire. By taking thoughtful, clear, and thorough approach, you as a hiring manager can put together a team that not only meets your needs but also contributes greatly to the success of both the individuals and the organization. So, we hope that the ideas shared in this episode will be useful for you and for the processes you conduct to hire new roles in medical affairs in the future. And most importantly, in this dynamic and rapidly evolving industry, the pharmaceutical industry.